Welcome to Spotlight Gulf Coast, a weekly showcase of people and events across South Mississippi. Spotlight Gulf Coast is partnered with William Carey University and sponsored by Breeze Heating and Air, IP Casino Resort Spa, Bienville Orthopedic Specialists, and the Trenchard Scholarship Fund.
Hi, I'm Samantha Bignell with Keesler Federal Credit Union, and I'm your host today for Spotlight Gulf Coast. I wanted to take a moment to thank our sponsors for allowing us to come in and talk to you about our community each week. And today I have some very special guests to me. These are women that are very influential in my daughter's life and a bunch of girls in Ocean Springs. And I have our Ocean Springs varsity cheerleading coaches. So I'm going to let y'all introduce yourselves and tell us each how long you've been coaching.
I'm Robin Thomas, and I've been at Ocean Springs coaching for 20 years.
I'm Megan Jones, and I have been coaching for 8 years.
I'm Teresa Sage, and I've been coaching for about 12 years at all sorts of schools around the world.
And I think all of that combined experience definitely showed what it can do this year, because we won the state champion, the 7A state championship.
Yay,
which I try to tell people that's a big category. You know, can y'all tell me a little bit more about competing in that category?
Well, it's very tough against the competitors because it's Brandon and Oak Grove and George County. Who was the other one? I don't remember. There was one other team, but it takes a lot of work to get past those levels of skills that they do. And I think our team pushed really hard this year and had a goal set for themselves, and they accomplished it.
Yeah, they worked tirelessly to be able to put their best out there for 2.5 minutes, so we couldn't be prouder of them.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I know the work that they put in, because morning practices, afternoon practices, Sunday exposition performances, like it's a lot, and it's a lot on y'all too, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is. But you know, they're worth it. They deserve it, and so we have to show up for them just as much as they show up for us.
And they do, and that's another thing. I don't think people realize how much effort. I know that they see the cheerleaders Friday nights at the game, and they see them doing, you know, the cheers, the dances, their pyramids, because I know we do a lot of stunning in Ocean Springs, and people have asked me, like, well, what all does it entail? And I tell them what as a parent, what all it entails. But can you tell us a little bit more about just cheerleading in Ocean Springs?
Well, I think that the difference between a Friday night, which we love because we love being out there supporting our team and getting to cheer, actually, the difference between a comp team is that these girls are lifting girls the same size that they are above their heads constantly. They live in a biofreeze cloud every single day. They get to do not only pyramids, but stunts, and then adding a cheer and jumps and all the things for 2.5 minutes is all they get to jam pack a routine that is competitive against these other teams that we win against at state and are going to go against at nationals next week.
And then on top of that, you know, we expect them, and they expect of themselves to really be leaders in the community.
Right.
So in addition to just being on the cheer team, I mean, these are girls who are involved in everything that is Ocean Springs, from school events to church events to just community events through Mayor's Youth Council or literally anything. These are girls that are in all of it, in leadership positions and representing the community as best as they can.
Right.
Yeah. I think cheerleading is very different from probably what all three of us experienced when we were in high school and college. It is very, very competitive. And so you have kind of these two categories. You've got the community and Friday night lights, which is so fun. But then you've got the competition piece. And when we say that they are competitors, like they are elite competitors in their tumbling and their cheering and their stunting. And so people are always a little shocked when they come in and they see our routines in person, and they can't believe what these girls can do, that they're holding girls upside down in the air, and then they're popping them up and they're spinning and twisting and catching them way up there.
Because I know when I cheered in high school, it was not that. I mean, we would go up like straight up to like a heel strut. That was a big deal. Now they're twisting to get up there and like switching legs and all this stuff. And that's not easy.
No.
I mean, it takes strength and conditioning, and that's something else I tell them is they don't just start in August. Like these girls are going, they try out in, you know, March-ish, and then they start working. They start working out, they start conditioning, and over the summer, like I'm getting my kid, I've got to get her up there at the stadium by like 9 o'clock. they don't sleep in. You
No.
know, but then again, y'all don't sleep in.
No,
So there's no summer break necessarily.
no, we have to work out. We're lucky to get Coach House this year. He set up a workout program for us, and the girls, I thought they really took to the workout program. I think they felt stronger. They were proud when the football boys came in,
Yeah.
and they got to see them lifting weights. And you know, when you're lifting girls your same size, you have to get that body
Yes.
strength up top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And keeping up with that, they're able to keep up their, you know, conditioning and being able to run those routines because they're constantly running those
Right.
full routines, and
Right.
that's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is.
You know, somebody had asked us about, you know, we did the showcase and everything, and you know, then we went to Win State. Like, and so I told him, you never know what you're going to get because one, you're dealing with teenage girls. I love my daughter, but you're dealing with teenage girls,
Exactly.
and you're dealing with injuries. You're dealing with people getting sick. You know, all of these things, and they all play a part into how it's going to happen that
Right.
one day in one performance.
And unlike other sports where you have innings or quarters or timeouts or something, you have 2.5 minutes.
Right.
There is no stopping the music. There is no reset. There is no subbing someone out. Like, that's all you get. And it's who can put the best routine on the mat in 2.5 minutes. And luckily that was us this year.
Yeah.
And have them smile.
Yeah.
Because
Smile.
that-
And have fun.
That's the
Yeah.
only sport I feel like where you are graded on how
You're
happy you
required-
are.
You're required to smile.
You know,
That's right.
like that's a big part of it. So, but it is a sport, and that's something I'm constantly
It is.
fighting.
Yes.
Is that it is a sport. I do want to plug that if anybody in the community wants to support the state champions, that our booster does a lot of fundraisers, and coming up in the spring we'll be having a lot more fundraisers, and they can check the Facebook page.
Right.
Correct?
We have a Facebook page, and we always put our fundraisers on there. We do an Egg My Yard fundraiser that's really fun, and we do restaurant nights and things like that just to get our girls out there. Cheer is expensive.
Yes.
Mom, I know. And we try to cover our expenses for our parents as much as we can through fundraisers, especially like nationals expense.
Right.
It's super expensive to go to nationals, but we're one of the only teams in our school that get to go and perform on a national level. So we're really thankful for that.
Yeah, and it's definitely something we don't get a lot of money from the school like
None.
other sports. Yeah, other sports get funding from their schools, but cheer doesn't. So
Right.
having the fundraisers and all of that definitely allows the businesses to be tied into the program, you know,
Right.
and also helps children cheer and helps
Yeah.
them be able to do that. So, is there anything else that y'all want to highlight while we have y'all here today?
Just nationals, right?
Yeah, and we've had some partners kind of throughout the year and every year that help us, that come alongside us. So we do want to give a plug for Cheer Technicians, which is Jeremy Lumpkin, who helps in with our tumbling, and he comes and helps us with our stunts. He's amazing. We're always sending cheerleaders to him if they want some private lessons. So
Yeah.
very thankful for him.
And
He's
just,
really great.
yeah, we just want to have a good showing at nationals for everybody, and hope that we have 115 people in our category this year. So we hope that we can show Ocean Springs proud.
And people can watch that on Varsity TV with a
Correct.
membership of Varsity TV, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
So, and then they can watch the Facebook page and get updated on our
On how we
placement.
do. That's it.
Perfect. Well, thank y'all so much
Thanks.
for coming. And of course, thank y'all for being such great role models for the girls and getting them to where they were this year.
Oh, thank you. We enjoyed it.
And thank you for tuning in for our insight into our Ocean Springs varsity cheerleaders and your 7A state champs. And we'll be right back to give you some more insight on some great events.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi, welcoming you to another segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WXXV. Each week we're coming into your living room talking about what's going on all across our region, and we want to thank our sponsors for this generous opportunity. Today we have one of those sponsors, and they'll be on the show at least a half a dozen times, maybe more this coming year. Bienville Orthopedic, we're real pleased to partner with them in what we do here at the TV show, and they've always been a part of our events going back a long, long time, and they're such an asset to this community. And today we have Dr. Brown, and Dr. Brown, welcome to TV Land. Just got to meet you out there, and I can tell that you and I would probably get along just fine out there. We're both
Sure, thanks, Todd. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yep, and what we'd like to do is sort of when we're bringing on, the physicians that are with the system, tell us a little bit what got you into, medicine, and did you know as a young kid that's what you wanted to be?
Sure, so I think that's probably something that most of us have initially, early on, that we think about medical as a career. And so for me, that was something I wanted to do as a child. And my journey through medical school and into orthopedics was a couple different, avenues that really kind of opened the world up for me with that. The thing that I really enjoy about orthopedics is I get to take care of patients that are healthy and active, and I get to help them lead a better life and a happier, healthier life.
I know as I get older, you think that it always is going to be someone else, but I was an athlete, believe it or not, in college, and actually did some good things, trained a lot, and, but I start to feel it. You get in, to your...
Mother Nature can be cruel.
And all of a sudden, now you see other athletes that, the Earl Campbells, that obviously those are the type of things that you don't want to have to address, but that come along. With your particular practice, when do you start seeing patients? I mean, how young and then how old?
So I'm trained in sports medicine, and that basically means I have extra training in shoulder, elbow, and knee problems. And for me, I see patients of all ages typically. So you've known with youth sports, we're starting younger and younger. And youth sports have become a little more professionalized nowadays, where you have an entire season that never ends. So younger athletes are getting hurt more often and more serious. So we see the young ones, I see the kids in high school, we see some college players, and then I see the aging athletes too. So my practice basically revolves around seeing people of all ages.
I know I'm watching, football is what everybody goes back to, and back then you had wore these pads that were so big, knee pads, all this. Well, now they don't even wear knee pads. I mean, their pants stop, in their thigh. Did they find out over time that, the flexibility was not worth the risk of just getting hit?
There's probably some of that to it. The athletes nowadays, they're so much bigger, stronger, and faster than they used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And we went through a phase a few years ago where we were seeing a lot of elbow injuries in the younger kids from overuse. They were throwing too much, pitching too much.
Right.
One of the trends that I've started to see, I think, over the last couple of years is ACL injuries. And we're seeing those on the football players a little bit more often, I feel like. I don't have any research to back that up, but with the rise of concussions and concussion awareness, the coaches and the players are learning how to tackle differently. So they're beginning to hit a little bit lower than higher to avoid the concussions and the penalties that they would receive. So I think we're seeing a little bit more of that than we used to.
Now, you talked about, the elbow, and you get Tommy John elbow, and, a lot of pitchers, they're phenomenal when they're 12, 14, but they're out there throwing junk every pitch, and that's a wear and tear.
So in the younger athletes, we see a lot of overuse injuries, and I tell parents this all the time, that kids need a break. They need an off season, and probably with you, and I'll tell you, me in particular, my high school career ended. I didn't play college ball, but I played baseball, and so whenever it was baseball season, we played baseball.
Right.
When it was basketball season, we were in the yard shooting basketballs. You know, if it's football season, you're doing football. So to avoid some of these overuse injuries, I feel that children need different sports, and they need to develop different muscles for those sports. So that's the most important thing. The younger kids, they just want to play.
Right.
So parents need to listen to them and watch them. And if they find anything that's kind of bothering them or see something, then that's whenever come to us and let us take a look at them.
Okay, now, what made you choose Bienville? Coming down here on the coast, I know, you know, when you finish med school, you have options, and, you know.
A lot of places to go, right? So, so I grew up in a small town north of here, Waynesboro, Mississippi, so it's pretty close to home. And trained in New Orleans at Tulane, and so it was a reasonable place to live, great place to live on the Gulf Coast. And so I'm close to home, still close to New Orleans, and so we just love it here.
Now, what city did you choose to live in? Where do you live now?
I live in Ocean Springs right now.
Ocean Springs. Yeah. It seems like there's a congregation of doctors over there in Ocean Springs.
There's probably a few,
Yeah.
sure.
Now, as far as you've been with Bienville now, how long?
9 years, I think.
9 years.
Yeah.
And your practice, does it stay pretty full? I mean, is that something that's in high demand? I mean,
Yeah, I see that. You know, the patients here on the Gulf Coast, folks here, they're great folks. And so as long as you take good care of them, do the right thing for them, they tend to find you.
now, as far as after you maybe have when you're working with someone, does that include setting them up with other physicians if they need surgery, or do you do that?
Sure, yeah, I do the surgeries.
Okay,
So-
and then you have the rehab part, which is so important. I think a lot of people, we skimp on that. I mean, especially guys, we're all geniuses, and,
You shouldn't have surgery unless you're willing to do the work afterwards.
and that's where you see a lot of repeat things if they didn't do that.
Absolutely. It's one of those things that if you're going to put the work in to do surgery, put the work in to do rehabilitation, and you're going to get better that way. So me personally, I tell patients all the time, you have a responsibility that's you helping yourself get better. So this is part of the process. I have a small part in it, but you have a big part, and
Right.
it's your future that you're invested in.
Right. Okay, well, we're going to take a short commercial break. We're talking with Dr. Brown with Bienville Orthopedic. You did pick the best, I think, team down here on the coast. I can say that. I mean, I've known a lot of them my whole career, and they're not just people that do a lot of, you know, professional services, but really do get back out into the community. So, home run.
We have a great team. Absolutely, a great team.
We're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're joined by Dr. Brown with Bienville Orthopedic, and we're talking about sports medicine. And Dr. Brown, you got a little bit of history about you. You know, good old Southern boy, made the coast your home, and played a little baseball. And you know, that's good to know, though. I mean, some of the things you've already said, you know, are very important. Because we just touched on that one thing. You know, I see these kids out there, they play baseball year round. And they're out there with the parent the day after they're pitching. The parent doesn't know, they're just throwing and throwing and throwing. And I see them, you know, at 18, 19 years old. My brother's son was Mr. Baseball in Virginia. had a scholarship and everything, threw his arm out. You know, just didn't have anything by the second or third year. So I learned a little bit about that, but one of the things that we were talking about at break were community involvement, and that's one of, I guess, the core values of Bienville. Always
true.
has been.
Sure, for sports medicine, it's a big part of what we do is the community involvement. So as I'm a shoulder, elbow, and knee surgeon, I have the training to take care of athletes, and that's the specialty part of it. So I had the pleasure this year of taking care of the Gulfport High School team, the football team, on their historic run for a state championship.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun for me to do that, to take care of the kids and to see them win it all. And I actually made it up to Starkville this year with the team, traveled with the team, to see them win the championship.
Yeah, that's that'd be sort of something to put in the memory books, and but y'all are also doing that at other schools with other doctors. I know, you know, Jeff Noblin, you know, always with Ocean Springs. One of the first people I met were he and Sally, because they lived around the corner, and you know, we got involved with the bank, M&M Bank, about doing the field, and he got a lot of people behind the importance, you know, of athletics and the things that you're talking about. But every game he'd be out there.
You know, it's South Mississippi, so sports are huge here. So football, baseball, and we have a great climate for, you know, baseball year round. So part of what we do at Bienville is supporting our athletic programs in the high schools around. So many of my partners take care of teams, and we're out there Friday nights watching the team and helping them through injuries.
Now, you also put on you know, a charity golf tournament. That's been, what we were talking, 5 years?
I think 5 to 6 years now. So we started 4 or 5 years ago, and we raised a lot of money. So I think maybe 20,000 or so for charity.
Right.
We've given that over the last few years. So probably over the last 5 years, we've probably raised 75,000 to charity. So it's a great thing for us, great thing for the community. Most of my partners love doing it, so we like to play. We're not great golfers. Some of them are, I guess. I'm not the best, but we've had a great time doing that. So, and that's part of the community service that we believe in at Bienville, to give back some to the community.
It's also good team building, you know, amongst, you know, I think
It builds camaraderie for sure.
Yeah, well, and doctors live a very busy life. I mean, it's not like y'all go in for a couple hours a day. It's, people do not realize the amount of time.
It can be very demanding. My wife a couple of years ago would tell me, you're always on the phone. So I would leave clinic, and then on the way home I was making calls to coaches or athletic trainers, and then by the time I'm in the driveway I'm still talking on the phone. So there's a lot of things that we do behind the scenes instead of just in clinic. And so in sports medicine there's a lot of things we do behind the scenes too with that, you know.
What is one of the things that you would like to see maybe down here on the coast that we can improve on? There has to be something. Do you ever have a vision of where you'd like to see sports medicine go? You know, have more people, more doctors that come into the area, or?
I would love to have more physicians in the area, and especially, you know, primary care physicians that can help with the athletes. I feel like we need as many athletic trainers as possible on the Gulf Coast, and we do have a big presence of athletic trainers that are taking care of the kids nowadays. So the high school kids need the support, and 20 years ago you didn't see many physicians on the sideline. Now almost every high school game you go to, you're going to see an orthopedic surgeon out there. So I think it's just good support for all the kids, and it's the foundation of our business, is that, you know, we're able to take care of the kids. We get to meet the moms, the dads, the grandparents, and it's kind of a whole family affair, and that's one thing that I really enjoy about it.
I think that what I've seen over my career, and my career is getting longer and longer, but you know, I'm starting to see those same doctors now have their kids on those teams that they may have been, you know, helping with, which adds a little more, you know, I'm sure, you know, to it, and that's sort of common. Randy Roth, you know, is over the health system.
Yeah. He's
been with Resurrection forever. You know,
right.
On the sideline, just he finally just retired from doing that. But you know, that becomes what you do. You know, as a parent, as a professional, and I think the more I get to learn about doctors, I know why I didn't become a doctor. I mean, it takes a lot of time and a lot of discipline, and over a lot, you don't have the option of a bad day.
It's an enjoyable career. So, what you talked about with the kids and taking care of those young athletes, and in the short time I've been here, 10 years or so, I get some that I've seen whenever they were very young, and then
Right.
I watch them grow up, and I'm amazed sometimes. I see them come back, and we've seen this young athlete that's a little bit thin and lanky, and now look, this is a really good athlete on the field. So that's a lot of fun for me.
Well, I'm glad that Alexis and Lee set this up. Good to meet you, and always enjoy meeting new people and learn a little bit more about my community. And you're certainly an asset. I can tell you that right off the bat. I can see how you'd fit in, the Bienville family. So thank you for coming on. I hope you can come back.
Thanks for having me. Sure.
And, good luck on football and all your endeavors, and go Tigers. Everybody, don't worry, everybody knows I'm an LSU Tiger.
Hotty toddy.